than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Yes, we do. We're here with Ellie. Sorry, we were talking. That's what happens. Who is the author of this here book, Back to Yesterday. This is your first book.
It is my first book.
Your first talk show.
My first talk show.
How exciting,
It's
huh?
very exciting.
This book just came out, right?
It came out in September as an ebook, and it just came out last month as a paperback.
How fun.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Can you tell me about it?
Yes, it's a new age love story with a twist. It's got hypnosis, out-of-body experiences, past life regression, a love story, of course, with soulmates. And it's the first of three. I have a sequel, so this is book one. Yeah.
Are you writing the sequel right now?
I'm writing the prequel and the sequel concurrently. So.
How? How do you not? I would be so confused.
I kind of have the story in my head how I want it told. So I already did the whole outline for book two, but when you're writing, something magical happens and the characters start talking to you in your head, and you can see the story developing so well in book two that you have to write book three at the same time. One's in the past and the other one's in the future, so they're kind of bridged right now. It happened organically, so I'm really excited.
How fun.
Yeah.
Do you have a timeline for that?
I want to finish by the end of this year.
Okay.
Yeah,
How long?
both of them.
Like, how long did this take? How long
that
did Back
was
to Yesterday take?
my first fiction book. It took me about 4 or 5 years and about 10,000 drafts of it. It's changed a lot from when I very first started the book.
How did you start writing, or when did you start writing?
I started writing like this about 7 years ago when my brother passed away. I was in the hospital with them, and my aunts and uncles started giving me stories about when he was little. He was very mischievous. He's a deaf and mute little boy. And so it was really a very healing thing that happened because he did pass. But right before the day that we took him off life support, I had a dream about him. And so that's what got me started in writing. I decided I wanted to write something special in his honor. And then I wrote it, but it's really hard to sell children's books. And so I'm like, well, I had this story, which is, of course, like all first books are, semi-autographical. And so that's how I started. I started writing this, and then I know when I was about 8 or 9 years old, I used to write poetry, like, here comes the sun, let's have some fun.
That's better than what I would do, so.
But when I told my dad, I went and had dinner with him one day, and I told him that I wanted to write some books for my brother. He said that I've been telling stories since I was 3 years old, that I would tell him all these stories, and I would tell him that I wrote them down a long time ago on a typewriter I got from Switzerland. And I actually wrote that into my book.
You would tell him that at 3?
Yeah. Yeah, and I wrote this big old scene in my book about that. You know, I made it up, but that's what he told me since I was 3. I would always tell him that I used to write on a typewriter from Switzerland. So, yeah.
You should write all your books on typewriters. And just see like what comes out of the typewriter.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I got started in writing, and I love it. It's like I have, my whole bedroom is full of poster boards with all these different book ideas I have, and every time I have an idea, I just put it on a Post-it and stick it on there. So I'm pretty set.
How, how has it been publishing a book going from like an ebook to a paperback book? Is that different now in this crazy world?
I don't know a lot of my people or the people that I know. They're not really that big on ebooks, you know. So I'm hoping to have a lot more success in my paperbacks. I know a lot of people do read, you know, because it's easy if they go on trips and stuff. But I don't. I'd have to say I'm hoping to have more success with my. Except it's a lot cheaper in Hawaii.
And you can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Barnes and Noble.
Correct, online right now.
Online.
It's not in the store yet, so if people buy it more, hopefully
who
they'll
goes-
have it in the
Who's to a
store.
store anymore?
So, and it's available also on iTunes on ebook, so, and Kobo and Goodreads.
See, that's what I think is so fascinating now, is that
Yeah.
you can have a talent like this and it doesn't have to be, you can just do it yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
it might not be as like lucrative, perhaps at first,
Yeah.
but at least there's an outlet for people now. I think that's so cool. You can have a
Yeah.
talk show in your bedroom and
Yeah.
you can have a book online.
Well, actually, I do have a publisher, and that publishing company is called Goodreads.
Well, we love them too.
Yeah, and I mean Clean Reads. I'm sorry, Clean Reads.
But we love them even more.
And the reason why they chose me and I chose them is because my book doesn't have any sexual content or any bad language. So that's really important to me, and it was really important to them. So I think I had like 3 or 4 like hells and dams, and they asked me to take them out. So
Really?
I
They
did,
asked you to
yeah.
say, wow.
Yeah, and I did, because that was fine. I just did it, you know, there was no reason for it. It was just, you know.
Those are easily interchangeable words, I
They are.
suppose.
I mean, they give you a list too, so. And I love them. I mean, it's for people who like to write the way I like to write. Just, you know, our logo, it's a good story and no guilt. So, yeah.
I like that.
Clean Reads, yay!
That's going to be the title of this episode. I'm going to
Oh.
steal it. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Can I do that? If that's a
absolutely.
tagline, is that trademarked? Am I going to get sued?
I don't know. It's good for them. So yeah,
Okay, good.
They're really nice. Thank you, Stephanie.
We love Stephanie too. This is a big party of people we love.
Yeah.
What do you say to people who are 3 years old that are watching this show? Because all 3-year-olds watch this show.
Of course.
Who want to be writers or who want to be creative? Like,
Well, I'm going to be 55, and I just started writing in my late 40s. It's never too early, and it's never too late. That's what I'm going to say. Yep, and I'm not actually going to say that too. I just got invited to my alma mater to have a talk with the book club there. I'm so
Really?
excited. Yeah.
when is that?
We haven't set a date yet. I just got asked this couple of days ago, so I'm super excited.
How cool.
Super honored. Yeah.
Isn't it weird when like it just sort of happens like that?
And that's a story in itself. But I don't know how religious you are, but I do want to share it because I think it's super.
You want to share it now?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
I do. I
That's what
have a
we're here
lot
to
of
talk
friends,
about.
a lot of great Christian friends, and I have a friend who's, her and her husband are both pastors. And I've always asked them, pray for me. I'm trying to sell my children's books. I'm trying to sell my books. And so one day she sent me a text like, call me. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Are you okay? I'm in the meeting. I can't get out. And she said, no. She said that she had a vision, you know, that God gave her a vision, and that was that my book was on like a stream of water, and it was just sitting there not doing anything, and all of a sudden it started shaking, and it just took off. And she felt that she had to let me know that God had plans for me, and that it was going to be successful. It wasn't just going to be one book, it was going to be a lot of them, and to hold on tight because things were going to move really fast.
Hope you know how to swim.
I do.
It's going to get dangerous in
I know,
those
I'm
waters.
super excited because I got my book published. I feel inspired to write a lot more. We all did at Clean Reads, we got a blast email or a blast thing on our Facebook page that Hallmark was actually looking for movies and, you know, movies, so they wanted to know what kind of books that they could. So I'm like, I have this one in particular that I wanted to write about, and about an experience that happened to me, by the way. And I asked my boss, who is my writing mentor, and he's my great friend, and he said, yeah, and I said, look, this is what I started. He goes, oh yeah, he goes, hey, he goes, you want me to help you write the screenplay? We can do it together. I'm like, yes. And so we've been very lucky. It's actually been, we put it on this, I haven't sent in the book yet, but we put in the screenplay in this organization that people throw in their screenplays and they get looked at by producers. I think it was in there less than 10 days. and we already have producers looking
Oh
at
my
it.
gosh.
I know, it's super exciting. And on my children's books, I tend to talk a lot. So
That's the point of a talk show. It'd be weird if we were just sitting staring at each other drinking coffee and water.
Right? Well, my children's series, I wrote the book, it's called Brother Can You Hear Me? And it's going to have all those stories in there, but I want to write the stories down and as a set of children's books. And I've gotten, one day I just woke up and just decided to do this, and I got a lot of feedback from different smaller publishing companies that there's a great audience for it, you just got to get somebody to do the illustrations. So I have a friend of mine, and his name is John Stetzer, and he's actually doing all of the illustrations. Yeah, for me. Yeah, he's her brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But this is, it's not like a friend, it's brother. This is someone who I really believe in, and he's willing to work with me. We're working together to get this done, and then I'm going to send in the book. And I think it's a lovely story, and it's just an amazing story. It's a Hallmark movie, definitely the one that makes you cry, but it's got a beautiful ending. So.
You're going to have to be here every week because it sounds like you're going to be very busy.
I am.
So every week you're going to have something to talk about.
I'll be happy to, of course, anytime.
Isn't it weird though how like you wrote the children's book first, but like that wasn't how it was supposed to go? Isn't that weird how it sort of all unfolds how it's supposed to unfold?
Yeah, it sure.
Even though
it
you're
really,
like, but
really
I have
is.
this book and I want that one to sell.
I know, seriously.
And then it'll happen when it happens.
Yeah. So, but I'm really excited. So, and I'm so happy to be here. Oh my God, I not only get my book done and get this book, my movie looked at, and then I get invited to do a talk show.
Oh my gosh.
My very first talk show.
Welcome.
I am so excited.
I had something
feel
good
so
to give you. I got nothing for you. Here's a pen from the Air Force. You're welcome. Yeah, you can write your next book with that. I'll give you a typewriter. That's going to be your gift. Your website. Tell them about it. How do you
It's www.ellell.com.
We'll put that up. We'll link it on our website. The book is back to yesterday. Go order it right now. I was just going to swear, but then I thought I can't. Because you can't. Go get it.
Yeah, and I just want to say I don't have an acknowledgement page on there because as a rookie I made a rookie mistake. But one of the things that my friend also told me was that God wanted me to dedicate the first book to Him, and I guess He just didn't want anybody else to get any acknowledgement because it only says to my Heavenly Father, and there's no other acknowledgement on there. So I didn't forget you guys, but I had to take care of the number one first.
And there will be other places to
There
do
will
that.
be.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. So good.
I love you. You're great. We're going to be right back right after this. I'm here with, I don't even know where I'm going to look. I'm here with Ken from the Vexler Theater. Thanks for having me.
Welcome.
I'm very excited to see this today. How did you come up with this concept?
Well, we were deciding that it was time to do a classical piece. We try to do as much variety as possible. I've always wanted to do Hamlet. I've always been a little intimidated by it and nervous about it, so when it came time to approach the idea, decided, well, let's do it with a little bit of a Vex twist to it. Sometimes we do a little bit of Vex twisting every now and again. I knew one, first of all, that it was such a 4-hour piece. So one thing you had to do for this level of theater is you had to trim it down. So in the first discussing of taking it from a 2-hour, maybe down to a 2-hour show, would be, okay, what else might be a factor? And I'm a huge fan of steampunk. And once I started getting into all the behind the deep works of doing my job sort of from an artistic director standpoint, learning the show from ins and out, I just started feeling all the kind of hidden behind what's going on in the mind and the gears turning all the time. And so gears became, well, I'd like to make it accessible to current audiences. Steampunk, has got a pretty good following, and it just all started to fit together that maybe there's this retro futuristic approach to do. And once I put that idea in my head, it started to, then I would go back and read the script, and I went, oh, I see it here, and I see it in this part. What's going on in Hamlet's head? And so basically it was the behind, like clockwork. So, in which steampunk is based on a lot of clockwork and mechanisms. So it just started to fit. And then we all started getting excited about the whole concept of it would change the look on costumes. It would obviously the whole concept of how we were going to steampunk it. And that's when I thought, well, instead of Elsinore being a castle, what if Elsinore was a gigantic steamship? And it, again, went back to the script, started reading, and I went, okay, I can see this.
Is this how your brain works every day?
Unfortunately.
Yes, it does.
Unfortunately.
So what can people expect as an audience member when they're coming here? What?
I think one of the biggest things I think felt pretty successful is when we first met as a cast, I said, it's about a story. There's a story to tell here. I want it engaging, get the audience hooked right in and keep going. Sometimes people are intimidated by Shakespeare. Some of the language is overwhelming to them. Lots of audiences I don't understand it. So I thought, let's just focus on a streamlined, get in, tell the story of what's going on, specifically with the family, and Hamlet's father's death and all the plots that lay out within. So I think one thing for audiences to expect is the streamlined version. I mean, it still is a 2.5-hour production. But I think the steampunk element and the airship element adds just another little flavor to it. We don't lose the story. It's all about the story. It's all about Hamlet.
If you get lost and you don't know what's happening, just look at the set, because this set is amazing. When does it run through?
We run through March 4th.
Okay.
Which is a Sunday, and we have a matinee that day and an evening performance that day. So it's a double feature that for us.
So get your tickets.
Yeah, and it's doing really well for Shakespeare. I'm so excited. We were sold out last night. We are sold out for today's performance. So
is it tough to do Shakespeare, like to get audiences? Because are people afraid of that?
I would say on the whole, yes. On the whole, yes. But the second part of that is not every theater in town is known for like doing certain type of works. So Shakespeare fans, the Vex is not going to be doing a whole lot of classics, so we don't even have that as our core. So this is a little bit of a surprise for our audiences. So when you ask me if it's hard to do, I say yes, in a way that just not used to it. And all of a sudden, bam, there's a Shakespeare a piece happening at the Vex. So getting that word out.
And a different kind of Shakespeare.
And then we've twisted it a little bit.
Of course, of course. What else is happening in 2018 here?
We will follow up this show. Our next production is Still Magnolias. So we'll go from this heavy tragedy into a little bit of lighter flavor with Still Magnolias. And everybody loves that piece, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Great. Thanks for hanging out.
You
Thanks
bet.
for having me. I'm
We
excited.
should put goggles and mask on.
Damn it. I'll just sit in the audience today and do that. And
Oh,
see
good.
what
You're going to
comes.
watch the show.
I am. I'm
Yay,
staying to
yay,
watch.
yay.
Yes, I am. I'm excited.
Come, sir.
Come, my lord.
One.
No.
Judgment.
A hit. A very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Come. Again. Another hit. What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Come for the third Laertes. You but dally. I pray you. Pass with your best violence. I fear you make a toy of me.
Say you so.
Awesome! Now teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
I wish. Is that your first time kind of doing something like that? We can go, there's a camera somewhere.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's like Undercover Boss. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, I in the MFA program at Brooklyn College, we did a good amount of sword training in our stage combat classes, and so we used foils, we used sabers. I think most of the shows I've been in have been more of a swashbuckling type saber fight.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a nice adjustment and a great learning experience, and it's been a lot of fun. And he's awesome at it, so it
And
makes
it's
it easy.
It's a workout because you're both exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, it isn't, it's tough, right?
There's a line in there that says, "Oh, Hamlet's out of breath," and there's no acting
Really?
involved. I'm actually just out
Oh,
of
wait a
breath.
minute, guys. Do you want to introduce yourselves and tell them what you play in the show?
Cool. I'm John Stillwagon. I play Hamlet.
It's over there. It's somewhere.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
just
Jordan
yell.
Heitkamp. I play Laertes.
And we're in the final week, right?
Yep.
How has it been?
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Really awesome.
How long have you both been actors here in
Uh,
San Antonio?
I have been in San Antonio for 5 years. I worked during the day as a full-time actor for Magic Theater,
Oh, cool.
and that's what brought me down here in the first place. I'm from New York originally, but yeah, I've been here 5 years.
This is my first show here in San Antonio,
Mhm.
in Texas.
Did you just move here?
A couple years ago, I
Okay.
spent the majority of my life in Pennsylvania doing theater in college and community theater, etc.
Do you like it here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just moved
Really
here in
like it.
September.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I love it.
Sure,
I
yeah.
grew up in Wisconsin, so 80 degrees when it's 20 below there is awesome. I love it.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This
What-
time of year.
What's the plan for 2018 for both of you? What are you guys up to?
Oh, well, working for Magic Theater, I run the touring division with my wife. We run their touring division, and we write a lot of their plays. So I'll be acting in those shows and also writing. But yeah, that's most of the plan for
Wow.
2018. Yeah.
I have a friend that's doing a independent feature film, and I'm acting in that. That goes up in May, and then I'm working on starting my
Back and
own.
talk about that. wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. absolutely. Working on starting my own cinematography business.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, videography.
Well, Hamlet, go see it. You have one more week. This is the final week.
Mm.
We still have tickets available, yes?
We do. We have tickets available. I know Thursday and our Sunday evening show. The other ones are selling pretty fast. We are filling up.
So this could be your only chance to see it if you don't hurry up.
So
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Get ready.
All right.
Thanks.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.